take a trip back in time with the Wayback Machine on Gulf Islands Radio.
You may set the Wayback Machine, 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 the Wayback Machine.
We know now that in the early years of the 20th century, this world was being watched closely by intelligences greater than man, yet as mortal as his own.
Science has released them from much of the age-old drudgery connected with the process of living.
Blatantly irrational behavior is rapidly being established as the norm in almost every area of human endeavor.
Today on the Wayback Machine, we have the December 3rd, 1939 Campbell Playhouse production of Lost Horizon, a book by James Hilton. Starring Orson Welles and Sigrid Gurie, this is one of Welles' last appearances on the Playhouse. He left in March 1940. The book Lost Horizon was published in 1933 and considered to be the book that started the paperback revolution. It was the first mass-produced, so-called pocketbook, which allowed people of modest means to own and carry about works of literature.
The makers of Campbell Soup present the Campbell Playhouse. Orson Welles, producer. Good evening. This is Orson Welles. Tonight we take you to Shangri-La in the Valley of the Blue Moon. You may not believe this story, but ladies and gentlemen, remember please that ever since the human race was articulate, men have returned with tales of such a place as Shangri-La. Usually they've been laughed at. Always they've been doubted, but never yet been proved that their stories were untrue. And so tonight we bring you James Hilton's Lost Horizon, and as our guest of the evening, Miss Sigrid Gurie.
I say, Sanders, did you ever know a chap named Conway?
You mean Glory Conway? Oh, yes, of course I do. Remember him very well. Wonderful fellow.
He was. Our civilization doesn't breed people like that nowadays. Remember the uprising at Basco?
Summer before last. Yes, I remember.
They sent Conway up there, to take over.
That's right. And there was a wild yarn going about, wasn't there? But one of the planes that went out never came back.
Yes, the plane did disappear. There were 4 people in it. Conway and 3 others. I can only tell you the story as he told it to me. I don't ask you to believe it. I wouldn't believe it myself, except for one small fact. There were 4 of them in that plane. There was Conway. There was Melanson, his assistant, just a youngster, but he'd come to be quite fond of him during the 6 months they'd worked together at Bath School, and 2 others he didn't know. Miss Brinklow, a missionary, and an American named Barnard. Conway said he was dog-tired. All he wanted to do was sleep. As a matter of fact, they were hardly off the ground, he said, before he was dozing off. And he doesn't know exactly, but he thinks they must have slept for several hours.
Conway, look, there's a break in the clouds. Conway, where are we?
I don't know, Melanson.
Hey, what is it? Something wrong?
I think we're way off our route, Mr. Barnard.
Off our route? We're being kidnapped.
Yes, Dad. I've been thinking for so long, Miss Conway, that something was wrong.
Well, I'll be darned. What's he doing it for?
Where's he taking us?
Yes, there aren't any tribes living around here. We're far past the frontier country by now. Oh, we'll be in Tibet by morning. If the gas goes out. Why, nobody but a lunatic would fly into this sort of country. Yeah, nobody but a darn fine airman could.
What's wrong? What's happening?
Motors are lighting up. Have to land.
How the fella can see the land in pitch blackness, I don't know.
Well, at any rate, I'm glad it won't.
Conway, he's gonna crack up. Well, here we go. Rotten landing, rotten. Oh. Cracked up his left wing. Well, we're at the stay where we are now. That's certain. Come on, Conway. I'm going forward.
Mellonson.
I must take care of this fellow on land wherever he is. I'm going to attack him right away. Go after him from the outside. The end of the world.
Better stop him, Conway, before he does something foolish. Yes. Mellonson.
Mellonson, come back. Mellonson! Mellonson! Conway. It's queer. I think the pilot's dead. He's all doubled up over his panel.
All right, come on. Let's get him out of the cockpit and the open. Lay him down here.
Hey, what's happened now?
Let's have a look at him. Strike a match with you, somebody.
Here. No use in this wind.
His heart's very faint. Hey, this isn't our pilot. He's Chinese. Be quiet, Mellonson.
Well, I can't help it. We look such fools standing about striking matches over a corpse. He isn't much of a beauty, is he?
Look, he's coming through.
I should have spoken. They say. Can you understand him, Conway?
How do I know?
Shangri-La. Well, what's the matter, Conway?
He's dead.
Could you understand anything he said?
Very little. If we're in Tibet, which is obvious. And I gather there's a place near here, along the valley. Some sort of monastery, it sounds like. We can get food and shelter there. He kept saying we must go there. He said his name. It was Shangri-La. I shall never forget Conway's vivid description of that lonely place. It was like a vast emptiness, he said, with mountains on every side. Mountains rising on top of mountains. There was a range of them gleaming on the far horizon like a row of dog teeth. But it was the wind, I think, that impressed him most. Not an ordinary wind, not even a strong wind or a cold wind. A sort of frenzy that lived all round us. That's how I felt it. And all through the night, he watched. At dawn, the wind dropped. And in the lessening gloom, the valley took shape. A floor of rock and shingle sloping upwards. And then, suddenly in the distance, he saw climbing down the steep incline of the mountain, coming towards him, a party of men. Tibetans they looked like. There were a dozen or more, carrying with them a hooded chair. In this sat a figure, an elderly Chinese, gray-haired, clean-shaven, robed in an embroidered gown of rich blue silk.
My name is Chung. We have with us food and wine. If you will honor me by accepting our slight hospitality. After that, we can start. Our journey is long and somewhat difficult.
If we could borrow a couple of your men for guides and some stores, I think we can get along all right by ourselves.
I'm afraid that would be quite impossible. I regret that it will be necessary for you to return with me to the lamasery.
The lamasery?
Yes. I shall try to arrange for guides for you there.
I'm sorry, we must intrude on your hospitality this way.
We are always delighted to receive guests from the outside.
Well, we won't be there long, I promise you that. And we'll pay for everything we have. We'll pay for our journey and our guide back. We want to return to civilization as soon as possible.
My dear sir, are you so very certain that you are away from it?
From the plateau to the lamasery, it took them 10 hours. It was bitterly cold. At one time, they were forced to rope themselves together. Conway seemed very pleased that here at least he was of some use. He'd done a lot of mountain climbing in the Swiss Alps and knew all the tricks. And then, very late in the afternoon, without warning, Conway said, they stepped out onto level ground. Out of that mist and cold into clear, sunny air. Far below them, under the setting sun, was the lamasery, a group of colored pavilions clinging to the mountainside with the chance delicacy of flower petals impaled upon a crag. That's how he described it. And beyond that, in a dazzling pyramid, shimmering against the deep electric blue of the evening sky, was the most beautiful mountain on earth. It was so radiant, so serenely poised, that for a moment he wondered if it was real at all.
There is our valley, and there is our lamasery. It is called Shangri-La. Our simple dinner has pleased you, Mr. Barnard?
Well, I've been around a lot, Mr. Chang, but I've never tasted food like this. I've never seen anything like this place. Bathtubs from Akron, Ohio, steam heating. Lord, what haven't you got?
You see, here at Shangri-La, we are less barbarian than you expected. We have a rather complete library for a monastery, a certain of our art treasures.
That girl up there sings. I've never heard 17th century music played so well.
She's charming. Who is she? Her name is Hilton. She has much skill with Western keyboard music.
Why, the girl that's hardly more than a child.
How old is she?
I am afraid I cannot tell you.
Not giving away secrets about a lady's age, is that it?
Precisely.
Yes, well, that's all very interesting. But it's time we began to discuss plans of getting away, Mr. Chang.
I am sorry. I'm very, very sorry.
Well, surely you can do something. You have maps, I suppose?
Oh, yes, a great many.
Well, all right. I suppose you must have some communication with the outside world. How far is it to the nearest telegraph line? Well, where do you send to when you want anything civilized?
It is quite true, Mr. Malacon, that from time to time we do require certain things from distant parts. And there is such a consignment expected shortly. Perhaps when the porters arrive.
When do they arrive?
The exact date is, of course, impossible to forecast.
Oh, all right. All right, well, I'll say no more then. Not tonight. But in the morning, I warn you that in the morning, I intend leaving. Good night.
I'm sorry my friend is upset tonight.
I, too, am sorry. You will none of you, I am sure, regret your sojourn with us in our little valley in the shadow of Caracal.
Caracal. Is that the name of that mountain you saw?
Yes. It is beautiful, is it not? And very tall. Over 28,000 feet.
Caracal.
In the valley tongue, Mr. Conway, Caracal means blue moon.
Blue moon.
Stop, Mr. Conway.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you come in, Miss Sam.
You play very well.
Oh, no, not really. I lead a pretty busy life, and I don't get near a piano very often.
Please go on playing. If you don't, I shall have to go away.
Oh, but why?
It is not usual in the beginning that we talk to the guests.
But it's not forbidden.
No, but I'm not sure that Young would approve. There are subjects we do not discuss, Mr. Conway, either with you or amongst ourselves.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Your friend, Mr. Mallinson, is not so polite. He tries to make me talk.
Oh, you mustn't mind Mallinson. He means all right, but he's rather an excitable young man.
I don't think he's very happy here.
No, he's not at all happy.
It is sometimes very lonely.
Oh, well, he's young. That makes a difference.
Yes, it makes a great deal of difference.